Effects of climate change. The greenhouse effect. Gas emissions. CO2 as a climate regulator. Life on Earth appears. The glaciation of the Pleistocene. The meaning of mountain, fossil fuels and warming global.
About consequence of climate change. These are some of the points that I am going to talk about. Increase sea level due to the partial melting of the ice and the partial or total disappearance of glaciers, not only due to the increase in the amount of water, but also the greater volume of the ice. Water from the oceans as a result of having warmed up and also a higher level of fresh water. Disappearance of cultivate areas near the coast, as well as many coastal cities. Change in the current rainfall regime. Increase in precipitation on the coast and decrease in the islands due to the evaporation of water. Change in the distribution of vegetation. Decrease in cultivable areas and vegetation due to droughts. Expansion of desert areas or desertification. Occurrence of tropical disease in areas where there are no such as malaria or cholera in Europe. Food shortages in the face of crop difficulties due to the impact of soils and high temperatures.
Donald Trump occasionally backed away from such sweeping denunciations. During the first presidential debate with Hillary Clinton, he denied having ever blamed the Chinese. In a New York Times interview shortly after his election victory, he said he thinks there's some connectivity between human activity and climate change. After Mr. Trump announced his Paris Agreement withdrawal, reporters posed the almost too obvious question once again to White House aides tasked with selling the move to the public. Does the president believe human activity contributes to climate change?
Until 2014, under Barack Obama administration, there were regulations on climate change. In the end of 2015, he had a really big importance in the agreement with Paris. This agreement establishes reduction gas emissions normative. Since the arrival of Donald Trump in 2016, he's been campaigning against those policies and announces that the Cold War from Obama will end. Scientists have spoken about the climate change and how 1.5 degrees could change the world. The report found that climate change will cost the US hundreds of billions of dollars annually and damage health. The Trump administration has followed the fossil fuel agenda. The most important scientists in the world agree that climate change is induced by the human and worse that natural fluctuations of temperatures are being caused by human activity. He asked outside the White House about findings that could corroborate that the global warming could wreak havoc on the US economy, and he said, "I don't believe it."
Important agreements. There are two important agreements. The first is the Paris Agreement. This agreement builds up on the convention. For the first time, brings all nations into a common cause to undertake ambitious efforts to combat climatic change and adapt to its effects, with enhanced support to assist developing countries to do so. As such, it charts a new course in the global climatic efforts. The second agreement is the Kyoto Protocol. It was the first agreement between nations to mandate country by country reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. Kyoto Protocol emerged from the UN Framework Convention on Climatic Change.